Hi everybody, this is JJ Long from JJArtworks and welcome to episode 14 of our podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. We really appreciate it. In this week's episode, I'm actually coming out with this episode a day late. So please take pity upon me. Please be gentle. I'm really sorry that I'm a little bit behind schedule this week. Last week was just a crazy week, man. I feel super overwhelmed and I kind of want to check in with everybody and see how you're doing. Do you feel overwhelmed as well, or at the very least like kind of uncomfortable with things going on? I think that's kind of the overall feeling I have right now. It's crazy because I do have high energy. Like I'm actually putting in like 12, 14-hour work days, which is pretty awesome, to be honest. I think before the coronavirus hit, I was maybe doing 6 to 8 hour work days, and it was kind of taking a lot for me just to get that amount of work done every day. But now that I'm kind of in survival mode and I really want my company to kind of stay afloat and possibly thrive through this whole entire thing, I think there's definitely a good possibility that we could do that as well with the virtual paint party thing. I just feel like I'm putting in like crazy work days, and it's weird. So I'm actually waking up later in the morning. I'm actually waking up around like 9:30, 10 o'clock. But I'm working until like 10 o'clock at night, or sometimes 11, 12 o'clock at night. So it's weird. My sleep schedule is kind of all over the place, and I crave, or I desire to wake up around like 7 o'clock or 7:30 or so. And I set my alarm every day for like 7:30. But I just keep hitting the snooze button. And I don't know if this happens to other people, but when I wake up in the morning, sometimes when I wake up in the morning, I'm like excited to wake up. But instead of like just pushing myself out of bed and putting the morning coffee on, or just trying to get out of bed, instead I think about all the things that I have to do that day. And what happens is, right off the bat, I think of like 5 to 10 things that I have to do. And then I get super overwhelmed, and then I say to myself, I'll just hit the snooze button for another like 15, 20 minutes, and then that 15, 20 minutes turns into like an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours. It's horrible. It's a horrible habit. I really need to kick it. But I make it up later on in the day, and maybe it's because I'm just kind of bred to be a night owl. I think that's a possibility. I mean, all the years that I played in bands for almost 8 years, we just gigged out every night. And, sometimes we wouldn't hit stage until like midnight. And we'd play until like 1:30 in the morning. So I really feel like that's maybe a part of what my body is doing for me. Same thing with the paint parties. I mean, we tend to teach 7 to 9 o'clock at night. So, maybe, again, that's my body telling me this is what your circadian rhythm should be. But I feel guilty waking up at 10 a.m. Like, I just feel super guilty. Even though I'm still putting in like a 12-hour workday, I feel guilty. And I either need to kick it, or I need to, somehow push my way out of bed at 7:30 in the morning, and maybe only work until 7:30 at night. But I think no matter what, as long as like I'm working, getting things done, I don't think it's a bad thing. But definitely, if you're listening to this right now, if you could leave a comment below, whether you're on like YouTube or Facebook, let me know like what your sleep schedule is as an entrepreneur, as a creative person. I'm very curious to know, what time of day works best for people, as far as like, best time of day to like do admin activities, or best time of day to be creative and paint or act or sing or write. I definitely want to, that's something that's always kind of eluded me, is the right time of day to do things, and I'm always all over the place. Same thing with exercise. Like, I really feel like exercising in the morning just to get it done is the right thing for me to do, but it's so hard to do that sometimes. Sometimes I just wake up and like, boom, my brain is in business mode and I just want to keep doing business stuff, and then unfortunately I sacrifice my health. And I'm sure a lot of other entrepreneurs do that too, but I really need to break that habit, man. It's so hard. It's so hard. But I'm going to try to keep today's episode short. I just want to check in, see how everyone's doing. Again, my apologies for coming out with this a day late. At least I'm not skipping it. So I'm going to give myself a pat on the back for that. I definitely want to be committed and do this once a week, every week. That's definitely something I want to do. Like I said in previous episodes, this is kind of therapy for me. And, hopefully for those of you that are listening, you're getting some type of value out of it as well. And thank you again to all those people that do listen. I really sincerely appreciate it. And everyone on my team appreciates it too. So thank you so much. What else can I update you guys on? Yes, this is a big thing. This past Friday, I taught my first virtual paint party. It was pretty amazing. It was a private party. My friend Jenny put it together. Just a bunch of people on her street. All of her neighbors got together. I did the curbside delivery. I dropped off about 22 retail bags of painting supplies off to Jenny. Her neighbors picked up the kits from her house, and boom, we had an awesome virtual paint party. It was so much fun. I felt like back to normal. Like, it felt so good, and I could tell that everyone that was painting, they really needed it. Like, they needed that time to socialize and reconnect with people. So I'm very, very excited about where the future is going to go with our virtual paint parties. My artist Lauren, she's already done about 4 events on her own, and my other artists are scheduled to do events as well in the next week or so. So we are just totally going gung-ho, forward momentum, totally just pushing forward with this whole virtual paint party thing, and I couldn't be more happy that this thing is actually working and people are being super receptive to it. So again, thank you to everyone that has emailed me, that's inquired about the virtual paint parties, that has already booked an event for later on in April and May. You guys are thebomb.com. Thank you so much. But like I said earlier, I'm going to try to keep this episode short. So without further ado, if you could check out www.JJArtworks.com, that would be amazing. You can learn about our company and all the services that we offer. We now do virtual paint parties. Would love to have you paint with us from the comfort of your living room. That would be super fun. Also, if you could check us out on Patreon, that would be amazing. You can support the podcast by visiting there. Just visit patreon.com/JJArtworks. And if you subscribe, you get a bunch of different perks like access to behind-the-scenes podcast episodes and so much more. I'm just really, really excited about the Patreon page. We'd love for you guys to check that out too. So thank you all so much for tuning in. Please stay healthy and safe out there. We're going to make it through. Stay strong. Love you all. And I will see you next week in episode 15. Have a good one, and I'll talk to you later.